An interesting dilemma for the township board, right from the start. I believe it was in April that a notice was sent out, the notice of abandonment, intent to dispose of property was published in the Daily Globe. Since that time, I know the supervisor has tried to verify ownership of, I believe it's 15 trailers. I think we have ownership of 8 we have identified. Since that time, the township has gotten a bill or bills of sale from several owners of the trailers, so the township actually owns those trailers at this point. There are some trailers that people have acknowledged their ownership. They were supposed to remove them in early spring. They're still here, I understand. And I did suggest to Ms. Mattson to send a letter to those individuals to give them X amount of days or they're going to be gone. Now the question the supervisor has from talking with another owner of a trailer park, there's an insurance issue here. And apparently the supervisor did verify with the township's insurance carrier that there'd be no liability coverage for anyone that goes on the property to remove the trailers, which frankly I find that surprising, because I would think the township's insurance carrier would cover any of their properties. It'd be no different than me coming to the gym and parking my car in a parking lot and leaving. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. But if the carrier says you have no coverage, then you want to make sure who's ever removing the trailers, in fact, is insured and licensed. So you don't end up with a liability situation. But the problem the township has is no one's removing the trailers. There's no statutes in Michigan that deal with how to dispose of abandoned mobile homes, trailers. And so then that's one reason why we published the notification, at least put people on notice. The township has to show good faith efforts to try to identify these people. At this point in time, I did suggest to Kim that she contact either the various scrap dealers in the area. I know you got Gilborn and Wakefield, you got Sam's here. I think Radius might be a salvage dealer, as well as demolition people. Whether you got Farner, you got Cloverland Motors, you got Pete Giovanni, and I'm trying to think who else is out there. At least get bid cost, what it would cost to demolish and remove the trailers, or what you get for scrap value. And I also suggest you obtain someone to actually appraise the trailers to make sure they have no value. And what the township is doing is protecting themselves from anyone down the road coming back, why'd you get rid of my trailer? It's worth $20,000. So if they truly have no value, which is what our publication said, or nominal value, whatever the township does, there's a risk to it. The safest way is to go to court and get a court order saying they're your trailers. That's a real lengthy process. And plus, how do you serve these people? You're going to have to do notification in the paper because we can't identify some of these owners. And so that could be an expensive process. The next option was through the Secretary of State. They require a bond. I believe it's twice the value of the trailer. If you post that bond, you hold it for 5 years, then I believe they'll give you a title. And maybe the best way is have them appraised they have no value and demolish them. I wouldn't demolish them unless you sure have a appraisal saying they have no value.
When can we start this process of demolishing? We got a couple of...
Well, in the notice in the paper, we gave them 30 days. Okay, and so those that didn't respond, I would say, I mean, you did your good faith effort to try to notify these people. You minimized your risk by at least doing that. And I guess I'm surprised the trailers, at least the people that own them and say they want them, aren't removed. I just assume they're gone already.
Mark, don't you think that the trailers that are left there, these people don't have enough funds to get them out of there and they don't care? They just forgot about them?
I believe it's part of this.
We give them a notice, a 30-day notice, about 4 months ago. Yeah. And we have rodents running around there, we have animals running through that park, and they're supposed to pay $10 a day rental on those trailers for storage. So why can't we just go in there and get rid of them?
That is an option.
I mean, it's been tied up for almost a year and a half now.
Yeah, it's an option, and what you want to do is do the least possible risk of liability on a township's behalf. And there is no easy answer.
No, because then there's 3 different things. There's 7 of the trailers that couldn't locate the owners to. I checked with Michigan and the state of Wisconsin. and there's just no record of any ownership,
Right.
you know. And then we did get the bill of sale for 3 of them, and then 2 of the people still want to get their trailers out of there.
But they're not gonna come and get them. They're gonna be there another year. We have to make a stand to get those trailers out of there and get that property
If
up
we do
for
want to
sale.
allow them a certain amount of days yet to get them out of there, I did come up with an insurance waiver, and I ran that by Don Hanula too. If they sign this insurance waiver, then they can get them out of there.
About how many more days is that?
Do you want me to call them and say 7 more days, get them out of there? That's
Right,
it?
Yeah.
7 more days. and-
Okay, so that takes care of 2.
Now, with the ones that gave us a bill of sale, are they any of the valuable ones, or are they the ones that are in horrible shape? I mean, I would assume we own those then, right? I mean,
Once they give you a bill of sale, they're your trailer.
they're ours.
And when we got the appraisal, I requested the appraisal with the value of the trailers and without.
We just got one.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know who inexperienced, even somebody that's experienced in mobile homes, if they are going to feel qualified enough to put their names on something stating this is a value.
Might as well try.
I would assume, you know, you got Bob's Mobile Homes, it's either Iron River or Iron Mountain, he's a big mobile home dealer. I don't know who else sells them, but that's the name I see on TV all the time.
Have each of these mobile homes been gone through, are all items of value out of them? Do we know?
I rode through there a few times. There's maybe 2 of them that I think would be.
But I'm wondering about inside them themselves.
Butch, Mike, and Nick had gone inside of each one of them to get the serial numbers. Some there are still water heaters, furnaces, most there aren't.
Okay.
I don't know the shape of them, no, if we even want to have people walk in there, because I don't want somebody hurt.
Speaking of liability, what happens now is, say, a child from the surrounding area runs through there and gets hurt? What actually happens at that point? Does the hospital bill, the parents?
The township insurance carrier should cover that liability.
And it's posted no trespassing.
Okay, weren't you saying that there was some that were not covered?
That's if we
What
authorize.
the agent is saying is someone who comes in to remove the trailers
Okay.
and gets hurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
As they're removing the trailers.
All right.
If a private individual were to go there to remove a trailer, they are not covered under insurance.
Okay.
As the board will recall back in April when the notice was sent out, the board had already taken a position, they're abandoned, and you have 30 days to remove them.
Would you
They have
think-
no value. That's a position the board has taken.
Would you think
And in
we
that
should-
notice, we said if they're not removed, we're going to either sell them public or private sale, or dispose of other
Right.
means.
Well, we're covered really by that.
It'd be nice if there was a statute that would say exactly
Yeah.
what you have to do, but there isn't, so you kind of did it the safe way.
But
And at this point, I would suspect that no one has come to claim them. I don't suspect they'll come to claim them until the minute they're gone. And then they'll.
don't you think we should send letters to Ramey's and Sam Salvage and Hillborns and
Well, you could just contact them, and
Yeah.
they'd be more than willing to come out for
right?
scrap.
Because there's stuff in there they could salvage.
And I don't know how much salvage value is in
No.
the trailer.
No, trailer.
But you recommend we get a value on them first before we do that?
Well, that's just another precautionary method. Okay?
Yeah.
Would it help us to put in the notice that you're talking about 7 days to say, if you do not respond in 7 days, this means you're giving us approval to blah, 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 whatever. So it sets up an either or, so at least then we're protected that way. And then coming back 8 days, they're saying, wait a minute, I want that.
Well,
The day after we're done.
Yeah, even then, they'll have to sign an insurance waiver for whoever's going to be on there, or they're going to have to hire someone that's licensed with insurance.
Because we have animals running through those trailers. I have several calls already.
Yeah.
It just has it. Unless somebody goes in there.
And then the notice that was sent to the paper was a $10 storage fee.
Right.
So I don't know how much that would come to.
The 3 trailers that we have, it's start demolishing right now, so the word gets out where we need business.
Put them out for bids.
Well,
Maybe.
liabilities on bids, but Brady and those guys say, here's some trailers,
Yeah.
scrap them,
Come and get them.
then start getting the word out.
Then we
Okay.
send a clear message.
What's the board's pleasure? I'll send letters to the 2 people that want to get their things out. Do you want me to go ahead and try to find somebody to value these
Well,
first?
I'll make a
Or do you
motion.
just want to go ahead
I'll
and
make a motion.
I don't get a value on them because I agree with Mark. If something comes back, we can at least say they were worth 0.
What I understand, those trailers are so old, there's
Yeah, but-
aluminum in them, they're all sheet metal. And they're made by 2x2 joists or,
Yeah, but when they're gone, nobody can know that.
yeah, and when you hit them with a backhoe thing, they just fall apart.
Yeah.
And they're not-
Okay, so there was a motion.
I'll make a motion that we start removing those trailers, and contact,
Wait, was there a motion about getting an appraisal?
I made the motion.
You made the
that I would
motion.
like to get an appraisal.
I'll support that.
Well, we had
we had it for,
we had
On the property, not on the trailers.
Yeah, the
Jeff wanted to
property,
do the trailers, so I'm not sure who I should charge.
I don't think
for
he's
those.
qualified to, that's why, he's just.
Who do you want me to try to get a hold of for an appraisal?
Your discretion. I mean, do you think it's best?
I'm
Anyone who would
experienced in
do it,
mobile homes.
yeah.
let's start knocking them down right, as soon as we get them out of there. Get that word out.
Well, Kathy made a motion to get an appraisal or value on each of the trailers.
But you want to
Jill
value the
seconded
ones
that.
that you already own.
The
Right.
ones we own, yeah.
Yeah,
not
we don't
the-
need that, just the ones that are, just in case they come into question, somebody says it's worth 10,000, well, even at $10 a day, a month, that's only $300. I mean, if they're gonna argue and take us to court saying it was worth so much more, we just want something to prove that it isn't.
Well, what you're trying to prove is we gave them notice, no one responded, and then notice we said there were no value, and now we have an expert opinion saying there were no value.
how about Larry,
On the 7 of them.
what's Larry's last name?
Miscavige.
Biscuits, how, well, he sells trailers, can he, go appraise them?
I don't know if somebody's gonna want to put their necks out on the line like this and say this is worth this much. But Kathy made the motion, Jill seconded it. I'd imagine this will cost money, so roll call please.
Mackey,
Yes.
Frederickson,
No.
Brunello,
Nope.
Boyd,
Yes.
myself, yes, Olson,
Yes.
and Mattson.
Yes.
Let me get this recorded.
So if they come back with a value on, it's best if we don't demolish.
I'm assuming if they're nominal value, I suspect it's to move them, it may cost you $1,000.
Yeah, we don't have that.
And so what you're trying to show is, it's a losing proposition, but what you're trying to show is they truly had no value. And I suspect it would be $500 or less.
But we give them the opportunity when they send out that back in June to get them off the property. And nobody responded.
All right, any other questions about the trailer
One
park?
more. The 2 people that you know, now will you contact them and tell them they have to remove their trailers by accepting within 7 days?
Yeah.
Yep. And then whoever's there has to sign insurance waiver or licensed person do it.
How many are all together?